Hey everybody, this is Vril. Welcome back to Extended Timeline World War II. This is the final episode, and I just wanted to give thanks to everyone for making the series so successful, for hitting like and commenting throughout the series. I also wanted to shout out a few viewers in particular. Thanks to Ben Cook, Maxwell Jacobs, and the Formal Slime. You guys commented a lot throughout the series, and I really appreciate it. So I'll create a short time-lapse at the end using EU4's political map screenshots, and I will include all of these save games in the video description. Alright, so we're coming up on the year 2097, so in the last episode we had a war between Algeria and Spain. Algeria won that war, taking a couple provinces from Spain and northern Africa. And the Spanish also had to give back territory to the Portuguese that the Spanish had previously taken just last episode, I believe. And we also had the Portuguese declare war on Spanish West Africa, and they won that war, making Spanish West Africa now the Portuguese Western Sahara. So we also had a war between France and the independent nation of Normandy here. The French won that one, so taking back that territory. They still have Province, Guyenne, and Toulouse. So we'll see if the French can gain that territory back in the next couple episodes. So looking at the armies of the world, we have the Chinese followed by the US, Soviet Union, Germany, and Japan. We'll note that the Italians, the British, the Iranians, completely out of manpower. I think the Saudis are as well, because the Saudis have dropped out of the Fourth Turkish-Greek Imperialist War, where Turkey, the British, Italian Somaliland were against Greece and Iran, and Saudi Arabia, as I mentioned, just dropped out of that one, so the Iranians might be dropping out soon as well, but we'll see what's going on there. We'll probably be mostly focusing on this war, so the British are in Saudi Arabia. They'll be moving into Iran. Let's see, do the Iranians have a very large stack? I see a 40k there. They're looking like they've got some, yeah, they've got actually about, I don't know, 90k, but they are completely out of manpower, so looks like the Turks have some crossing penalty attacking here in eastern Turkey. But yeah, I think that the Turks are going to be able to turn the tide on this war. I wasn't expecting them to. I kind of was counting them out in the last episode. So I think that with the British help and the Italian Somaliland help, they might be able to pull this one off and regain their territory back. We'll watch to see if the Greeks haven't had a large army the entire series. It's, I don't know, I've watched a lot of these time lapses with the extended timeline when the Greeks always have a very large, or a very small army, pardon me. So let's see if anything else. We've got a Haitian change of government. Do we actually have the... I did not notice this. This must have been coming out of that Mexican, Dominican Republic and French War, where the Cubans gained their independence back, because this used to be what was called the Mexican Caribbean, and now we've got some Mexican noble rebels apparently have some unrest here. And the, who was that, Haitians, who, not even sure where they're at this point. Okay, they've got a couple islands here in the Antilles, that's right, they gained their independence from France a few episodes back, so they're trying to take some advantage here from the bad situation that the Cubans have there with some rebels and that sort of thing going on. Our Turkish war is still going on. I was hoping that we did not miss anything over here. Wow, the Greeks actually do have a large army here. 60k, that's... I don't know, I don't recall the largest Greek army I'd seen, but that's among the largest that I've seen throughout this series. Saudi's no longer in this war. Let me just go to the diplomatic map so we can have a look here. Iranian Oman, we've got the Iranian parts of Syria here. Let's see what the, assuming the Turks win this war, it is on the positive side now, and the Haitians are actually on the positive side with the Cubans here. I'll be very curious if they can actually pull this off. They have a pretty good sized army, considering. That would be pretty big for the Asians if they were actually able to get some land in Cuba, I would say. That would be, if they can get that done in the next couple of years before the series ends, that would be something interesting. So yeah, the Italian Somaliland sieging out in Syria. We've got, I think the Turks do need to probably siege out, what would it be? We've got Athens would be the primary thing that they need to siege out and focus on. The British have dropped out of this war at this point. This Belgian-Nigerian punitive war is not going anywhere. I kind of figured, I said that whenever that fired off, I think it was 2 episodes ago, that these punitive wars, especially when they're like European nations against African nations, they just kind of go nowhere at all. We had some against Cameroon earlier in the series, actually like 3 or 4 of them, possibly. The only punitive war that actually worked through this series was that one where Hungary had taken over, Hungary, which does not exist at this point, had taken over all of the Balkans, and I think it was Poland broke them apart. Or it was actually Greece did that at one point in time as well, so. We've got the Iranians fighting off the Italian Somaliland as well. French are going to have to deal with those rebels, the rebel issues there. I'm just amazed, though, that Bulgaria has been able to hold on to this territory here. Haven't been caught up against any punitive wars themselves. Of course, they're allied with the Soviet Union, so that probably helps. Where is the Turkish army? Okay, okay, I was going to say, yeah, 30k. Not good for the Iranians there. 62k. For the longest time, the Turks were allied with the Egyptians, but I think they kind of, the Egyptians going into Sudan, that alliance broke apart at some point. They could still be allied. No, they're not. So the Turks are allied with the Germans, though. And they have been allied for most of the series. Looks like that Cuban war just ended. We've got another Botswana and Zambian war. So Botswana, Angola, Madagascar, against Zambia, British Somaliland, and Sudan. Let me quickly look over in Cuba. Haitians took over all of Cuba. They're having some Mexican noble rebel problems, though. So I would think that Haiti actually has claims on Venezuela. Well, it's not Venezuela, but Jamaica with all of Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. I think some of these Bahama Islands. So yeah, they good for them, I guess. Right at the end of the series, they were able to take some nice chunk of territory there. Wow, we've got some Greek peasants really uprising here. That, I don't know if that's going to help or hurt the Turks, though. Looks like the Turks had just beat the Iranians there. Going on the positive side, let me quickly look down in Botswana. See what we've got. Another one of these Zambian wars. Some rebel issues there. We've got Botswana with a 60k stack, plus they're building armies, and they've got Sudan. Sudan is on the side of Zambia in this, so the Botswana will have to deal with that stack. I guess they totally have the manpower or the army size to take care of it, so I wouldn't worry about that. We're into our final year as well, 2099. We're ticking down. Hopefully we can finish off whatever wars we have going on, and we don't have it'd be disappointing if the Germans declared war on the Soviet Union or France at this point, just because we won't be able to finish it. But like I said, we will have the save game in the description of the video, so you guys can download it. I'll probably include all of the save games, and when you guys are actually using that. Okay, so the Turks just finished this off. Did they take anything? Okay, yes, they took a, like I said, okay, they actually, yeah, they took a couple islands here in the Aegean Sea, so not as much as I thought, but good enough at this point. So what do we got? Botswana. Yeah, let's focus on that. So what was I saying? We'll have the save games in the video description. And one disappointing thing going forward is that with the Mare Nostrum expansion, it's too bad that we don't have that expansion out, because it would have been really good for that new timeline feature that they're going to have, to be able to go back and see all the territory changing. I could have made a time lapse with that, but instead I'll have to use the screenshot mode to kind of do that, stitch that together for you guys at the end of this episode. These French noble rebels are really sieging out there in Syria. Are we going to be able to finish off this Botswana and Zambian war? We'll find out. 6 months to go. Botswana just won a battle against, I think it was the Kenyans, but... See, no, they're not actually in that war, so it was not the Kenyans. Do have... what's... okay, that's part of that Punitive war here. So yeah, it was... Nigeria was the target of that whole thing, so they've got some issues. Norway's finally arrived. Okay. We'll finish... let's see if Botswana can actually finish this war off. It'd be nice, because we do have some border gore, and it looks like they just did finish that one off, so... border gore isn't so bad now. They've got this little, I don't know, stretching out there, whatever that you want to call that. Let's see, so we actually have no wars other than this Punitive war that's going on at this point. And we actually have Norway has finally arrived in Nigeria, and they're going to be sieging this out, although there is this 90k Nigerian stack that will be able to mop up the Norwegians here, so not good for them. Not good at all. Anything else? Nope. We might get lucky. We've only got this war on, and it's not going to be able to finish. That's fine with me. Okay, yes, so actually Nigeria's losing out to the Norwegian army there, though, but if they attacked, they'd be able to finish it off, but I don't think we're going to have time for that. We're in our final few seconds of the series, and I will pause it at January 1st on 2100. Okay, so there we go. We are done with the series. No wars other than that Belgian Punitive War. So I'm just going to go around the map, and obviously, like I said, we'll have the save game, but obviously the US took over parts of Mexico. We had lots of Central American nations that were destroyed. The only one that was really left of all of them was Panama, and obviously it moved from the Panama Canal northwards. In the Caribbean, we lost Jamaica, we had Haiti come back. We had lost Cuba, I guess, is what we lost. So that's kind of funny. We had Venezuela move their capital somewhere in the Caribbean, and they have the Venezuelan Colombia, pardon me. And Brazil, kind of the champion of the South America. Very, very large, taking out quite a few countries here, like Ecuador and Argentina, taking out places like Uruguay and Paraguay and Chile here. So the Argentinians do hold on to the Falkland Islands. The British do hold on to... I thought that the Argentinians might have taken over the South Georgian island here, but the British do have it right now, so I might be wrong about that. When I'm doing all of these time lapses and different things that I'm doing, I kind of do get mixed up on what happened in a time lapse and what happened in this AI only series. Obviously, we had Italian Somaliland that gained its independence. I don't think we have really any colonies left, so Germany gained a lot of territory. What a mess in France between the independent nations and what the Italians took. We had Catalonia gain its independence. We had Wales gain its independence. Norway kind of became the powerhouse in Scandinavia. We had Estonia, because they were allied with the Soviet Union, take over Estonian Scandinavia. Iraq was down to just one province there. So yeah, I was a little disappointed in things like, so British India, some of these should be really colonies rather than actually being like core land of the British. That's kind of what I would hope for in the future. So we had French Indochina still here as well. The Netherlands pushed back into Indonesia, however many episodes we had wars there. New Zealand gaining territory in New Guinea. And Japan still holding on to South Korea for the most part. A little bit of North Korea. That might even include Pyongyang. I think it does. Maybe not. Probably not. Okay, well, I'm going to go look at... just like look at the religion, see if anything... Everything's going to be secular at this point, but we might have some areas going irreligious, as I think it calls it here. So yeah, some areas are... It's like Protestant, Catholic. Yeah, we're getting a lot of this black or irreligious areas in the Soviet Union. And actually in China as well, from changing from Confucian to irreligious. We've got Shinto. You know, a lot of you guys hate this secular stuff that they do in this mod, but that is what it has, so... Let's have a look at cultures here. So I won't really go too much. We've got... I'd have to look at what the map was at the beginning, but I'm actually kind of surprised that we have this Castilian... I guess maybe it is. I mean, with the Brazilians being Portuguese, maybe that makes sense. So maybe it was like that the whole time. But the American culture hasn't really moved into Mexico in any sort of way. Got the Danish and Iceland is Norwegian. I would have thought they would have Icelandic culture, but apparently not. Castilian, Catalan. Okay, well. Yeah, actually, here's what I think somebody wanted to see if this areas of British India had become actually British culture, but it does not look like it. Actually, they've got a couple provinces are English, but for the most part, it's different Indian cultures. I think that at this point in the game, the cultures are pretty tolerant of each other, so it's not too big of an issue to, you know, be in areas that are not the primary cultures, you know, accepted cultures of the land that you're in. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and start the time lapse now. And I just wanted to say one last time, thanks to everyone for making the series so successful, for hitting like, commenting, and all the new subscribers that I found the channel because of it. Thanks, and I hope to see you guys next time.